Okay, I can admit when I make mistakes, and I will admit that the last video I posted about replacing one of the DPS and using it with an ongoing directive DPS hybrid was a mistake. It's definitely more viable and more reasonable to use 3 DPS and 1 healer. That being said, this is not a mistake. This is the healer build I was telling you about that I wanted to bring out and let you know to use instead of the standard healer. This is definitely certified to the max. Okay, we ran through this so fast, and it was simply because of the hollow points. Now this is a 6-tier skill build, which means you have versatility. And by the way, we ran this a bit different than people would normally do it. At the beginning, we would use the oxidizer at the pavilion before you even get to the turrets. Shoot the oxidizer all the way through, and the oxidizer just melts the panel that controls the turrets. We did that and went to the next area. You can do that with a skill build easily because the oxidizer stacks and it hits really hard. But anyways, let me tell you about this build, because when you have alternative healer builds, especially when you have 3 DPS, this much DPS, the healing doesn't need to be as significant as you think. That being said, the heal is still significant because on every ongoing directive piece I have repair skills rolled with incoming repair mods. And once again, I went to countdown, I put my targeted loot to ongoing directive, and just like Striker, this doesn't drop that often with attributes like this. So it was kind of difficult to get it to drop, but over time I got every piece except for the mask to drop with repair skills. So it turns into a certified healer. Now if you're not able to get all the rolls with repair skills, that's fine. Make sure you have technician specialization and still maintain the 6 tiers of skill, which is something that I did. Now ongoing directive, what it does, if you don't know what that does, it provides hollow points for the whole team. These hollow points give the team 20% damage, 20% weapon damage, plus it makes them bleed. Now 20% damage on top of whatever those striker builds are doing is insane, okay? And the hollow points never stop coming. They're infinite. Anybody that I shoot with the Scorpio, they bleed, and you reap the benefits of the hollow points, which is why that's the primary weapon I'm using. Of course, I'm using Sledgehammer like always to get that extra 40% armor damage and negative 25% movement speed. But the Scorpio not only makes the enemy bleed, but after shooting the enemy 7 times, it exposes them to receive 20% damage from all sources. So this is the perfect weapon to use with this build, a healer build in general, and with this build specifically. Now I'm missing opportunistic, the backpack talent, but that's fine, because when you have alternative heal builds, you also have to look at the fact that what is it replacing and what is it doing for you that can basically substitute something else. Because opportunistic gives you 10% damage from all sources, but opportunistic with the standard healer build also doesn't give you hollow point ammo, does it? So what I'm doing here is I'm essentially increasing the team's damage by 35%. Now I say 35% because I have the chest piece with Empathic Resolve. This chest piece is beautiful. It's Alp Summit. For the first piece, it gives you 20% repair skills. I have armor regen rolled and an incoming repair mod. Now Empathic Resolve works as such that repairing an ally increases their total weapon and skill damage by 3 to 15% for 20 seconds, and self by 1 to 7%. Now the effectiveness of it depends on how many skill tiers you have, which is why I have 6 tiers, so I'm reaping the whole 15% bonus. This with the hollow points is crazy. Every time you heal somebody. And people were saying that on the last boss, this is not really going to work well against Martinez and Johnson. I mean, it works okay. That's fine. But on the flip side, you get more DPS as a healer than you would with a regular healer. And also, you don't have to use this in a Johnson-Martinez fight. You can switch to a standard healer or another healer with opportunistic or whatever. There's options you have. Plus, the way that we were running the Johnson and Martinez fight was completely different than I've seen anybody else do it. We don't even go out into the open, so it leaves more opportunity to get hollow points. I'll show you in another video I'm doing. But as we were going through this, I was asking my teammates, I'm like, yo, I need to know from y'all, because these dudes are goons, okay? Shout out to them, because they actually run through this incursion easily. Their clan, they run through it easily. So I just, join them with my healer to see if we can run through it even faster, right? And they were telling me that they could definitely see the difference.
Yeah, this too much. Yeah, Incursion certified. because this it's synergizing with the DPS. Yeah, and you healing, so it's too much. Because then right now this run seemed a little easier than the last run before you did the skills. It's just the way they going down. They going down with ease now.
You can get more shots on enemies because of the hollow points, explosive damage, and all of that. They just said it was too much, especially in a tanker fight. It's like anybody I would shoot with the Scorpio, they'd follow my lead and get infinite hollow point ammo. It's just ridiculous. And everybody on the team was wearing Ouroboros DPS build, which is insanely strong with Striker. I mean, I just got the Ouroboros. Shout out to 𝐿 for dropping it for me. He was on PC one day. He joined the group when we were on the last fight. And actually, we didn't even beat the Incursion because I had to go. But he got the Ouroboros to drop from the boss. And he said, yeah, I'll give it to you. Don't worry. I'm like, all right, bet. Appreciate it. Shout out for Kami for doing that for me. Anyways, the Ouroboros is crazy strong with Striker. It may have a small magazine, but it's crazy because you reload so fast with the weapon handling. Plus, Ouroboros gives you reload speed. It's really great. But let me not get too much into that. What I'm saying is that anything before the Johnson and Martinez fight, this build is going to help your team out exponentially, especially with the right fight. Because you know you have kite the boss to the sprinklers, deal damage, then adds, rinse and repeat. Okay, so I told them, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna run this route around the bar, around the lounge area. Anybody I shoot, you shoot them. And you're gonna get infinite hollow point rounds. It's crazy. So it's simple to make this build. All you gotta do is farm for it, go to countdown, and make sure you get the drops that are rolled with repair skills so that you can roll the main core to skill tier. And then you're good to go. You can find a chess piece like Alps that has Empathic Resolve on it. This is what you want. You want Empathic Resolve. If you're going to be doing a build like this, you definitely want Empathic Resolve because that's one of the necessities for any healer to have. If you don't have Empathic Resolve, then you just use Future Initiative, which gives you a damage bonus also when you heal a teammate. But yeah, this right here is basically a more DPS approach to the already DPS players that you have on a team. This is not something to take lightly. It definitely increases the DPS even more than it would if you didn't have it. And when you have this much DPS, you don't need as much healing as you think, honestly, because you're going to be melting things so fast. It's going to be like, okay, I need a heal. I'm about to die. Every now and then you're going to need to heal your teammates, but something like this is crazy. Anyways, let me know what you think of it down below. This is the final build that I was going to drop in the Incursion series. Now you have all of them. Now you know what I run. Also, tell me what you think about everything I said, and if it helped you out in any way. Make sure you drop a like and subscribe to my channel if you're new here. I'd love to have you join the family. I'll catch you in the next one. Be right out.